So, I mean, my question would be, when somebody is sort of, if they haven't particularly had a religious upbringing or anything like that, and they just, maybe their intuition's opening up, or maybe they're just getting a sense that there must be more, there's got to be more than this.
Yeah.
They might have had one or two spooky experiences, but they're not really particularly knowing what they're after, or just, they want to sort of shop around a little bit. What, apart from common sense of decent people and people that might be people that you might want to watch out for, or whatever, what would you, if you had any advice at all for people who were a little bit lost in the woods,
right,
what would that be?
Okay, so if you didn't want to go back to the religion of your birth, then there's plenty of people who are what I call non-denominational, but they for example, the interfaith ministers lead worship services, so it's not pertaining to any particular religion, so that might be something that suits you. There's a lot written from America about kind of non-denominational spirituality, how to create a spiritual kind of inner life, drawing on traditions but not being attached to any particular tradition. So there's one book called, for example, The New Monasticism, which is all about developing a spiritual life using the techniques, but not, as I said, not being attached to any particular place, and then trying to find people that you can have a conversation with about what you're doing. If you then choose a group to join, how do you know it's the right one? What should you be looking out for? And I think I'd go back to what I said about the benevolent and malevolent spirits, is that if you join a group who are telling you how to behave, what to think and what to feel, and then when you try to express yourself, you're corrected, and then I would say that's a danger sign that you're being asked to fit into something which may not be suitable. If, on the other hand, the people are saying what you're thinking, what's your experience, what you're feeling, what you're intuiting, and then they help you expand your experience through the conversation, then I'd say that's probably a better place. And you're not being pushed into something where you don't want to be, where you don't want to go. I mean, okay, you might feel uncomfortable, but the choice about whether you go to that place of uncomfortableness should be yours. And I think, again, with Kabbalah, with the teaching, is that a structure is given, but it's up to you, the student, to animate it.
Yeah.
And so, and to make it your own.
Yeah. And I mean, I've said before about my experience of what I'm grateful for about having studied Hermetic Kabbalah. The particular flavour of Hermetic Kabbalah that I studied was that it was patient with me, and also the tradition was accepting of me as I am. And I think there's something to be said of that definition of, for something to be inclusive, it's where you can take the whole of you.
Yes.
If in work, if you could, an inclusive workplace would be one where you can bring the whole of yourself to work and not have to compartmentalise too much.
Yes. And
so for me, an important thing about spiritual tradition is that even if you're not going to constantly bare your soul and tell someone all your hopes and dreams all the time, the tradition itself and the group of people that are around it are accepting of you as you.
Yes. Yes.
They're not expecting you to be a fantasy of yourself made perfect. They're not expecting you to be too conformist in a particular kind, even if that's considered to be non-conformist by outsiders. So I think that's something that I've got on with.
Yeah.
About our tradition.